welcome back to Paper Pad Holder and Paper Cutouts help video. This is chapter 4, editing the file in Adobe InDesign. In this chapter we'll be talking about editing the file, editing the colors, text, and adding your own logos. My name is Maria. I'm a graphic designer with over 15 years of experience, and I'll be your guide throughout this tutorial. So let's get started. First and foremost, let's open up the Adobe InDesign file. There are two different ways of opening the files. We can go to File, Open, or we can simply open the InDesign folder and drag our InDesign file to the work area. Now, notice you have InDesign files and InDesign markup files. These markup files are for InDesign versions CS4 and CS5. If you have version CS 5.5 or the newer version like CC or CS6, whatever, you're going to use this InDesign file. If you have version CS4 and CS5, then you use the markup file. So I'm just going to drag and drop this, and once I do, it's going to tell me, it's probably going to tell you too, that the document containing link sources have been modified. Just simply click Update Links, and voila, we have our template ready to be modified. Now, let's look at the layers first. We have the print guides, we have the cut lines. That's the layer. Cut lines is the layer you need to send to your printer. And of course, we have the logo, placeholder, text, and design. Let's start editing the links file, or basically our logo. The way we're going to do that, we're going to go back to our folder, and we're going to open the elements folder and then double click on the logo placeholder. Let me just close this one. And this is where your logo is placed. Now you have two different options. You can either type in your own text, or you can place your own logo. I'm just going to turn this one off. So once I place my logo here, I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to use this panel here to size it down. And once I do, I'm just going to leave it transparent, save it, and now when I go back to the InDesign file, as you can see in the links file, you'll have this little yellow triangles that tell you, hey, your link has been changed. Now, what we need to do is go to the top one, right click on it. Let me just move it here so you can see what I'm doing. And here, the first place, you say relink all instances of logo placeholder. Click on that. Oops, I'm sorry. Not relink, I'm sorry. Update all instances of logo placeholder. And voila, you have changed your files. Relinking means you want to link this logo to your own logo, different file. We're not going to do this, we're going to do it the simple way. Okay, and we have this. The other way of doing this, instead of going to the right click and then selecting this update all instances, we can just double click on this little triangle and it will automatically change. And that's it. You have your own logo set up here. Now, let's talk about editing the colors. The colors editing here is very simple. All you have to do, if you watch the chapter 1, which is editing the file in Adobe Illustrator, it's the same principle. The colors here are what's called global colors, and all you have to do is double click on the color you wish to change. We have the preview set on, so I'm just going to change it from this blue to green, and voila, everything is changing. You're changing the color, you're changing the gradients. Instead of going to each and individual file, you just simply change the color from the swatch panel here we go. We have our entire scheme, entire template changed, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Simple. Okay, now if you for some reason want to change this from green to, let's say, white, you're just gonna click on the element you wish to change and click the color you want to change it with, and that's it. If you want to change the design itself. Okay, so that was editing the colors. Now, one thing you need to know about Illustrator is that once you select the text, you're not actually selecting the text, you're selecting text frame. Basically, that's how Illustrator works. It works with frames, not the text itself. That means, in practical sense, now let's say you want to change the color of this, your company. If you just select the frame and click on the color, I'm just going to make it something you can see. It's not going to do anything. You're like, what happened? Let me show you here. If you do this, it's either going to color the frame or nothing's going to happen. You're not going to see the change. Now, let me go back. This is what happens when selecting the frames. When you change, just select the frame and click on the color, it's going to color the frame, not the text. In order to change the color of your text, once you select the frame, you see here right beneath the foreground and background color switcher, you have this little T. You select that, and now once you select the color, it's going to change the color of your design, of your text, I'm sorry. And that's it. That's for changing the color in your text. Now, the changing the text itself, once we select the frame, we double click on it, we select everything, or you can just simply do Control A on your keyboard. And I'm just gonna type, oops, let me do this again. And if you want to make the text repeat itself, we go Control A, Control Copy, go back to where we started, and I'm just gonna copy, copy, copy until there's no more room. And voila, we have our own text selected. The same principle applies here. Of course, if you select the text frame, double click on it, you can select the text, type in your text, and that's it. Now, in order to modify and stylize this text, you need a character panel open. Just press Ctrl T on your keyboard and you'll open up your character panel. And here, I'm sorry. And here you can change the font family. Let's say instead of Helvetica you want, I don't know, Corbel. We can change the font style, make it for instance bold. And here on the top panel, you can see it has these style changes, which is all caps, small caps, and so on. So these are some basic text modifications here. I've selected to make it all caps. You can change kerning, which basically means the distance between the letters, between individual letters. You can change the size, you can change whether horizontal and vertical scales, they don't have to be at 100%. And basically play with the characters panel, find the font you like the most. And that's it. Now that you have your template edited, all you have to do is make sure to select all the text. And we're going to do that by just going to the layers panel, selecting text, go to type, and create outlines. When you're saving the file with outlines, Outlines means now you can't edit your text anymore. Make sure to save it as the outline file. So let's say you're saving it as a blue and just add outline as an option to know that this file cannot be edited anymore, and this is what you send to your printer. Now we're going to do the same thing here. Select the text, go to type, create outlines, and now your file is ready to be packaged and sent. You can either send it as PDF or you can package it. Talk to your printer service to see which of those they prefer. You're ready to print your file. That was it for chapter 4. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you have any questions or need any additional help with it, please don't hesitate to send me an email and I'll try to respond as soon as possible. See you soon and have a nice day. Bye.